Morning, children. Hope you people are doing well. Welcome to today's session, children. Today we are going to read the poem from Unit 8, Once Upon a Time. Before we start with the poem, let us read about the author. This poem, Once Upon a Time, is written by Gabriel Okara. Gabriel Okara is an African poet. He was born in 1921 in Nigeria. He was educated at the Government College, Umuahia. His parents were not rich. He worked as a bookbinder and later as an information officer at Enugu. He also wrote plays and features for broadcasting and became a poet of outstanding ability. His poems appeared regularly in Black Orpheus. Black Orpheus is the name of a magazine, children. He used to write the poems for that magazine. He has also written a novel called Voice. So let us start a poem, Once Upon a Time. Now this poem was written when Africa was under the British rule. You remember, children, that Britishers have formed their colonies in India also, and we were ruled by the Britishers for many years. Even in Africa, the Britishers have formed the colonies, and it was affected by the culture of the Western. So this poem reflects on that culture. Let us read now. In this poem, the poet explains what happens when a traditional African culture meets the forces of Western way of life. The poem was written to outline the fake personalities of many people and to try and get them to return to a natural and innocent man. This poem explains the artificiality and relationship and manners prevailing in the present day world. The past is better than the present. In the past, there used to be love, sincerity, and faithfulness in people's feeling and relation. But now, all feelings of men are fake, insincere, superficial, and hypocritical. The poem is a conversation between a father and son, where the father wants to learn from his son how to go back to normality and no longer be fake and fictitious in his feeling and action. Let us start our poem now. Once upon a time, son, they used to laugh with their hearts and laugh with their eyes. But now they only laugh with their teeth, while their eyes block cold eyes surge behind my shadows. Once upon, what the poet wants to say here, that once upon a time the people used to laugh with their hearts. There used to be sincerity in their laugh. Their laugh came from their hearts. There were genuinity in their actions and feelings. But people laugh superficially in present. Their laugh is fictitious, feelingless. Their eyes are dead like feelingless and unsympathetic. Let us move to the second stanza, children. There was a time indeed they used to shake hands with their hearts, but that's gone, son. Now they shake hands without heart while their left hand search my empty pockets. Here the poet expresses concern for the influence of the Western world and old age African custom. He feels that the once enthusiastic and friendly society of Africa now treated its own people like strangers and looked at each other with suspicion and hostility. The white imperialists always exploited and plundered the wealth of their colonies. So their left hands searched the empty pockets of their subject in an attempt to rob them further. Feel at home. Come again, they say, when I come and again and feel at home once, twice. There will be no thrice. For them, I find doors shut on me. So I have learnt many things, son. In the third stanza, the poet explains more about the changes the man possesses as he grows in age. He has noticed falsehood, feelings, and deteriorating human relationship in present day society. The poet also says that the people lie when they say the positive phrases like feel at home and come again. When the poet visits their house for the third time, thinking their words are genuine, the doors are shut on their faces. This suggests that the people of the present society are hypocritical. They do not really mean what they say. I have learned to wear many faces like dresses: home face, office face, street face, host face, cocktail face, with all their confirming smiles like a fixed portrait smile. In this material and artificial world, the poet has learned many things, especially wearing many faces like putting on many dresses. That means he changes his expression and feelings to suit the situation and needs of the people with whom he is to deal with. The stanza has been focused on how people tend to change their facial expression for different occasion and how for each occasion people tend to have different smile like a fixed picture that never changes. All I have learned to laugh with only my teeth and shake hands without my heart. I have also learned to say goodbye when I mean good riddance, to say glad to meet you without being glad, and to say it's been nice talking to you after being bored. In behaving like this, he loses his own character and traits of his self. As this is the way of the world, the poet has also learned to laugh with teeth but not with heart. He also has learned to shake hands of others but not with heart. He has learned to say goodbye when he means good riddance. He has learned to say glad to meet you when he is not glad, and he says it's nice talking to you when he is bored of talking. Overall, in the stanza, the writer shows how his environment has an impact on how he behaves and how he is emotionally detached from other people, how it has destroyed his passion, and how it has made his heart unfailing. But believe me, son, I want to be what I used to be. When I was like you, I want to unlearn all these muting things. Most of all, I want to relearn how to laugh, for my laugh in the mirror shows only my teeth like a snake's bare fangs. But the writer is now fed up with the forcible hypocrisy and pretension of falsehood. He wants to regain his real spirit and character. He wants to abandon all his falsehood. He wants to laugh sincerely as the children do. His love reveals all the fallacies of the world. But when he looks at himself in the mirror, his teeth are exposed and they appear like the fangs of a snake. To show me, son, how to laugh, show me how I used to laugh and smile once upon a time when I was like you. Now, this is the last stanza, children, and in the last stanza, the poet appeals to his son to show him how to smile wholeheartedly. The poet's desire to regain his original traits of his character, sincerity, and to give up his falsehood and hypocrisy reveals his yearning for the innocence, faithfulness, and sincerity. So, children, I hope you people have understood this poem, and what we have learned from this poem, that the poet regrets for losing the traits of his own character such as honesty, modesty, and sincerity, which were the qualities of the people of the olden days. He regrets over getting corrupted by the ways of the world. He regrets for his character being influenced by hypocrisy and misconceptions of the world. The poet requests his son to help him regain his sincere, heartful, innocent, childlike smile. In the poem, the poet was very have a negative approach, but by the end of the poem, he is very much optimistic and he hopes that all the people of the world would change and be positive in their attitudes. So, children, I hope you people have understood this poem. Now it's time for you to take down your homework. Write the choreography of the poem Once Upon a Time. Thank you.